BRV 7-seater SUV. Traditionally, MPVs are the go-to vehicle of choice for those looking to transport more than 5 people on a given journey. While that may be the case, most buyers aren't enthralled by the boxy appearance of the people mover. With the trend shifting toward high-riding SUVs these days, automakers are blending the two concepts to create a product that has the visual appeal of an SUV, with the practical capabilities of an MPV. Which is why we were flown into Bangkok to get a little taste of Honda's effort. The BRV, jointly developed by Honda R&D Asia Pacific in Thailand, and PT Honda R&D in Indonesia. The bold runabout vehicle is specially made to cater towards Asian markets, and has already been introduced in the both countries mentioned. The BRV's exterior shares much in common with the Mobilito, the 7-seater MPV we don't get here, in terms of looks and platform. However, the BRV gets its own distinctive cues to make it appear prim and proper for its role. First up, there's a brand new front fascia featuring Honda's solid wing face, more angular-looking projector headlamps. The Malaysia spec car gets TRLs as well and a revised bumper, all of which gives the BRV a more family look when parked alongside the maker's other SUV/crossover offerings, the HRV and CRV. The side profile of the BRV is nearly identical to the Mobilito, with only a few notable differences, beginning with the plastic cladding installed near the wheel arches. Elsewhere, the floating roof look contributed by the blacked-out D-pillar on the Mobilito has been done away with, and there are now roof rails to complement the advanced scene hunter persona of the SUV. If the BRV appears to be higher off the ground, that's because there's precisely 201 mm of ground clearance offered here, claimed to be highest in the segment. In fact, the SUV measures 4,455 mm long, 1,735 mm wide and 1,650 mm tall, with a 2,660 mm long wheelbase. This puts it smack in the middle of the HRV 4,294 mm long, 1,772 mm wide and 1,605 mm tall, with a 2,610 mm long wheelbase, and CRV 4,590 mm long, 1,820 mm wide and 1,685 mm tall, with a 2,620 mm long wheelbase, although it has a longer wheelbase compared to the latter plus 40 mm. The overall package certainly complements Honda's survey results, where 58% of customers wanted an SUV that projected a sporty image, while 73% and 52% of respondents wanted a high ground clearance and high seating position, respectively. Though it may not be to everyone's liking, it certainly isn't jarring to look at, especially with those 16-inch dual-toned alloy wheels. There's very little soft-touch material here, Aside from the leather used to upholster the seats and near the inner door handles, everything else is trimmed in plastics that have a familiar Honda feel to it, and the overall fit and finish is satisfactory. As for the cake list, the type-spec model we drove came with luxuries such as automatic air conditioning, second-row aircon blower, manual adjustment, a touch-screen infotainment unit, keyless operation, reverse camera, steering wheel controls, and the aforementioned leather seats. Millennials will likely scoff at the lack of rear USB charging ports, the preserver of their electronic devices during long trips. The third row, meanwhile, can only be folded down 50 minutes and 50 seconds split to allow for a flat-ish cargo area, or tumbled and hooked into place to expand the cargo space from 223 liters highest in the segment with the seats in people carrying mode, to 539 liters when folded down. With this much flexibility, there are a few possible configurations to be had beyond the standard carry-all approach. For instance, folding down the second-row seats and sitting at the far back allows for a comical self-art-inspired setup. Think budget executive lounge that is surprisingly comfortable. Speaking of comfort, the seat base in the second row is pretty sizable, and there's plenty of headroom and legroom to accommodate someone around 180 centimeters tall. Meanwhile, the third row is pretty comfortable for those of a smaller stature, i.e. smaller adults or children, although it's advisable to take a break on long trips to stretch the legs at regular intervals. In closing, the Honda BRV is an honest, blue-collar family car for the masses that ticks all the right check boxes, providing decent on-road performance, impressive people-carrying capabilities, comfort, and a versatile interior. It performs its duties well, despite the odd quirk or two. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.